Most of my videos are about how to breathe. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to breathe. I know you already know how to breathe, but you have a lot more potential than you may realize. Because as the result of our adaptations, your adaptations, my adaptations, to all the difficulties of life, to stress, to injury, to repetitive motion, just to getting through life and the struggles therein, your brain has had lots of practice in limiting where and how you breathe. Let's think about it. Breathing is movement. Something's got to open, something's got to close. You can squeeze some air out. Squeeze some air out with me all the way out. Just let the breath come in. Not a big breath. Something's got to open. So let's just make sure that we can see it as closing. The space gets closed. Even take your hands, close the space. Breath in. The space opens. The breath comes in. Where are you breathing right now, even just right now? Squeeze some air out. Hold your breath. Holding, and then just let it breathe. And where are you breathing right now? This works really well if you're seated. It's going to work well. You could do this lying in bed. But I like seated or standing. Just easy breathing. If you breathe really gently. As you look at where that easiest breathing is, where is it happening? And pick a place that it isn't using. Maybe one side of your body. Pick a side. If you breathe that open, does your brain gently, we're looking for where it can't. So breathe gently enough that you see where it doesn't understand how to breathe. Could you take a breath in? One side, the other side. Just gentle. Breathe into your back. Where does it run out of room? Where does it encounter a stretch? Because the stretch is where your muscles are saying, hey, we don't want to go any further. We don't want to open anymore. So even front of the upper chest. Just gentle, soft. And then come back to your easiest breathing. Pause for a second, pause the breathing. And just when you're ready, let it start. That's easy right there. But where is it not easy? And let's wake that up. So try taking one hand at the top of the chest and one hand down low, sort of belt buckle. And if they're pinned to the body, we can gently squeeze some air out. We can move the body so the hands get closer together. The bellows of the breathing space is closing between that. We can breathe that open. In all of that, looking at not just one line, but all the sections that have to open as that space opens, where is there confusion about movement in that space? So the gentle breath in and closing it on up. It's just hunching. Bad posture? Well, hunched posture is the brain's stuck on squeezing the air out here. It doesn't understand that can be breathing. So squeeze it out. Hunching over. Breath in without moving. Breathe into the first resistance and then continue to breathe in. Really direct the breath where the breath doesn't know how to go in what's opening. One more time, we're going to do that. The gentle breath in, closing it up, breathing it open gently. Where is it opening? Pause that, slow that down. Make the breathing happen. Make the opening happen where it doesn't know how. Got it? Let's think about one side of the body. Armpit lowers down. The ribs lower the armpit down to the side belt loop. Squeeze the air out. The hands can help guide it if you want. Squeeze the air out. Just breathe it open. Can the brain see that that's easy or not? Really breathe into the space that is the most reluctant to open. One more time, closing on up. Breathe against it. And then direct the breath where it doesn't know how to go. Go slow. One last time, we're going to just close it open, really easy. Close it up, and soft, soft, soft. Close it up. The air's out. Gentle breath in. Can you convince your brain that that's easy space? Can every section open into that side? Now let's just do a little assessment. A little breath into the side we just did. Soft, soft, soft. Softer, softer. And then apply the same soft breathing to the other side. Where, as you breathe in more and more, soon you're going to run into constriction. Where is it? For me, it's sort of down low ribs here. So wherever it is for you, it might be upper ribs, middle ribs, down in the waist. The diaphragm doesn't have room with the opening waist to take the belly breath out to the side. So we're going to close that down. Close it down. The ribs close. You can do my movement called seesaw shoulders to help this make sense if this is confusing. Ribs close up. Gentle breath in to that stuck side. Breathing it open. Where there's a little confusion, is it more front or back or side? What elevation is it? Closing it on up. Gentle breath in until the first resistance. Then breathe it open. And then the whole thing all at once. Close it on up. Let it open. Go slow, soft. Can a soft breath obtain every part of that whole space of the opening side? Okay, now, little breath into one side, maybe the side we just did. Soft, soft on the other side. Try breathing into your back. Where is it constricted? Where does it run out of room? You have the upper back. Can that open as you hunch forward? Mid back, low back? Don't stretch, not into a stretch. Let's teach that to be easy breathing space. And especially, I would encourage you, if this is a tight area, to try my video, Steering Wheel Somatics #1. It's got a really good movement that can be done seated or standing or many different ways. That's a good one for opening the breathing space in the back. Here, let's try this. Whoa, Nelly, you're holding the reins of the horse and you're pulling back. Notice that as you pull those elbows back and those shoulders start to lower down your back, let the belly sort of open up. The closing back opens the front. We're thinking about the breathing of the back. Gentle breath in as you reach forward. What elevation is it that is the first resistance? For me, it's sort of a strip across the low ribs and back. Maybe it's your low back. Close the place that didn't know how to open. I'm going to make sure I get that low rib section. Make sure you get the place that didn't open for you. Squeeze every drop of air out with that closing. Elbows could be back, but it's not really about the elbows. It's about the ribs closing and back. Direct the breath into that place opening. One more time, closing it on up. The side back ribs, the strip right down the center of your back. Can all that close? It's pulling your back pockets up and your shoulder blades down. Breathe it open. Does one side open easier than the other? Okay. Let's try assessment. The gentle breath into the back. Squeezing the air out. Breath in. Is there more room? That's north, south, east, and west, but let's do northeast, southwest, and the other inner cardinal directions. Fingers on collarbone and front pocket on the same side. Close it on up. Gentle breath in. Is that free? Try the other side. Collarbone and front pocket, closing it on up. Squeeze the air out. Does it know how to close? Is it stiff? Take control of the stiffness by closing it. Look carefully at how well your brain can breathe into that opening space. Pick the side that needed more learning, close it on up. Make sure you're closing the place that's hard to feel tension. Where is that? A place that doesn't exist in there. For me, it's sort of low front ribs. Close it up. Breathe directly into the place that didn't know how to close. What's the movement that makes that place have to lead the opening? Okay, there you go. Now assess your suppleness, see what you've got. Let's think about the back a little bit more. Back of shoulder to same side back pocket, close it up. Breathe it open. One more time, closing it on up. Back of shoulder, ribs closed to pull shoulder down the back toward same side back pocket. Breathe it open. Okay. Just try the two sides right now. We only did one side of the back. Breathe that open and out to the side, and breathe the other side. Oh, that other side, the second side for me doesn't even know, has no concept. We've got to educate the nervous system. That's what this is about. A lot of the limits you've got, the limitations that feel like normal to you, your nervous system is running them in the background. You don't even know. And these ratchet straps of tension that constrict the breathing space, they're causing most of, in my opinion, my observations with my clients, they're causing most of the problems out in the extremities. Even the up into the neck and head is the extremity. So here we're going to close it on up. I'm closing back ribs to bring shoulder blade down toward back pocket. Really close that whole accordion. Breathe it open. And for me, this is a little stuck. Adapt what I'm teaching you to you. For me, it's a little stuck. I'm going to close it up. Really make sure that I've got that in a good grip. And switch to voluntary. Breathe in to the first resistance. Okay? Breathe in, till there isn't any more room. Gentle. And now move and open that space and breathe into what's opening. Equate the movement with breathing acquisition. Last time, close it on up. I'm going to go a little bit more, not just purely the strip oblique line halfway between side and back, but I'm going to go a little more toward the center line of my back. So I'm closing that up. Gentle breath in to the first resistance, and then move. Open it up, okay? And now, breathe into one side of the back, and then breathe into the other side of the back. Breathe into the whole back. Is it more free? This concludes part one of this standing easy breathing exploration. Realize that we did the front, the sides, and the back, that's sort of north, south, east, and west. And we also did the northeast, southwest, the inner cardinal directions, halfway between north, south, east, and west. That's part one. In a way, that covers a lot of your geography, all these vertical lines. In part two, we're going to go a little more advanced. We're going to look at the surface diagonals and some lines of constriction that can be holding spaces through the body in contraction. Thank you very much for practicing with me today. I'm Eric Cooper, InspireSomatics.com. Blessings on your journey.